too often rely on our logical and rational minds. We rely on past experiences and feedback. And while it's important, I'm not dishing logic, it is important. But our rational minds can tend us to overthink and overanalyze and ignore that feeling that always telling us whether something is or isn't right for you. Also, our logical minds is very limited because we only know what we know, and we make decisions on that, and obviously more stimulus to our minds, and then from all of the past experiences. But intuitive mind is unlimited because it doesn't come from our conscious, it comes from our subconscious. And our subconscious mind is like a record of all of the information, all of the experiences, everything we've learned, we've witnessed, we've seen from the time we were born. So all the information is within us. And on top of that, the research has shown that our subconscious mind processes data 27,000 times faster than our conscious mind does. So not only do we have access to all that information that is within us already, but the access is instant. And that's why we never have to overthink or overanalyze. So basically what I'm saying here, the really powerful decision making lies on finding the balance between logic and intuition. Because when we listen, when we trust our intuition, when we stop relying purely on a cognitive decision making process, we will make better decisions in complex situations. And some of the greatest minds in the world attributed their success to intuition. And here's one of them. You might have heard of this guy, Albert Einstein, who says, intuitive mind is a sacred gift and rational mind is a faithful servant. We created society that honors a servant and forgotten the gift. So the question is, what are the benefits, in addition to what I've already explained, what are the benefits to really knowing how to connect to our intuition, most importantly, how to trust it, right? So firstly, intuition drives creativity. It helps us to recognize the best path for us. And then creativity happens when we follow that. And then creativity obviously drives innovation and inspires new ideas. It improves our decision-making process because I've already explained, it doesn't come from analysis by paralysis, where we kind of chuck all the past experience, things that didn't work, all the limiting beliefs, all our programmings, all the doubts and confusion. No, it just comes from our subconscious mind. It's direct and it's instant. And it acts as a cautionary voice. I mean, how many of us, I'm sure we've all been in the boat where we pursued opportunities that are not meant for us. We went down this rabbit holes, even though intuitively we knew that wasn't the right thing for us, right? So intuition is our gift, guys. So how do we practice this? And I mean, that's, it's something in our masterminds. We've got a 6-week mastermind. We really, really go deep into it. But for now, what I wanted to share with you, I wanted to take you back into human design because it's so, so powerful. And the reason why it's powerful is, let me know in a chat. So when I said to you intuition or instinct, where do you think in your body you would experience that? I'm really curious to hear from you. Like, is it in your heart? Is it like in your liver? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your guts, in your head?
I always feel it right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So intuition is the language of the body. Obviously, it's a language of the body, but how we experience intuition is very different for us. So for some people, it is in the gut, right? For some people, it is in the gut, but not for everyone. For example, my daughter's a manifest, and if I told her, trust your gut, she'd be like, oh, my gut is rumbling, I'm hungry. She'd have no connection to the gut at all, right? While me as a generator, everything is in my gut. So human design introduces us to our inner authority. It's showing us how genetically we're wired to make decisions that are best for us using our intuition. And there are 7 different authorities, but I'm just going to take you through three authorities here. So the first one is called the sacral authority, and that can only belong to either generators or manifesting generators. And for these people, it's all in the gut. It's like your body moves towards something or away from something. And actually, the easiest authority to develop. People with this authority are literally wired to make instant decisions by listening to their gut. And I wouldn't even say listening, but more it's like, how does it feel? So I know when my decision is correct, I feel expansion. It can still feel scary, uncomfortable, challenging, but it's like expansion in my body. While something isn't right for me, it's like my gut goes, ugh. it like literally it contracts. It's very, very different. Let's say if I was experiencing it in my heart, it's completely different sensation. And the best way to train that, and that's a fun way actually playing, if you are a generator, a manifesting generator with a sacral or trust your gut authority, get your friends or get your partner, whoever, to ask you simple yes and no questions. And then don't respond to them yes or no, but respond to them with the sound uh-huh or uh-uh. So for those of you who are generators and manifesting generators, I'm curious if you ever like go uh-huh when people say to you, do you go uh-huh or do you go uh-uh? Like I used
You
to do it all my life,
used
and I
to
thought it
drive
was
my
me.
ex nuts. But I'm always like,
Yeah. Like my son grunts, and it's like
yeah,
my, and my mom would go like, can't you answer properly? I'm like, no, that's perfect way for him to
yeah.
respond because that strengthens the connection between your brain and your gut. So next time when you feel stuck in your head, you don't know what's next, get someone to ask you simple yes or no question and use those sounds, or I promise you guys, it's extremely powerful. So the next authority we look in the middle is a self-projected authority, and it's for projectors mainly. These people, they have no clue about the guts. I mean, they will, but not in that kind of sense. How they find the clarity is through their voice. So they need a
Huh?
sounding board,
Like me
right?
too.
So you may have like people in your life where they come to you for advice. They're like, look, I really need your advice. And you're like, okay, go on. And they'll blurt everything out, and they're like, cool, I know what to do, and off they go. And you're like, but I haven't even opened my mouth. Well, they don't want you to open your mouth. They just want you to listen. They offloaded information, and through speaking, they find clarity in their voice. So having a sounding board is really important for these people. And the last I'm going to mention is the emotional authority. So this is majority of people, about 53% of people have emotional authority. And what that means is when they're presented with a choice, decision to make, their body goes through a chemical process. They ride this emotional wave, and making decisions at the height of this emotional wave doesn't matter if they're feeling happy or sad, it doesn't matter. But two things tend to happen. One, it will be the wrong decision, or two, something even better would have happened if they just waited. So advice for people with emotional authority is never to rush into making any decisions. The best thing they can do is to say yes. Well, I mean, not to say yes, but rather say, let me sleep on it. I will get back to you, and keep on tapping into the, how does it feel in my body? How would I feel if this action I took would have been done already? How would I feel on the other side of making this decision? And if that feels expansive, as I said, it doesn't have to feel comfortable. It can feel scary, but if it gives you that sense of accomplishment, then you know it's the right decisions. But there is no clarity in the now. I mean, coming from computer science, being a computer programmer and a consultant for so many years, I know that it's so easy to logic our way through the problems because that's what we've been conditioned to rely on. But by doing that, we're limiting ourselves because our logic is not enough to overcome the subconscious responses and emotional challenges. And intuition it's within us, right? It's our superpower. We are all already intuitive, and there is nothing to learn, but unlearning is required. And here's the question I get often from people: well, how do I know if it's my intuition talking to me, or if it's just the thoughts in my head? And what I always say is that when it's the thoughts in your head, when it's your logical mind giving you answers, it will tell you what to do, but then it will tell you 20, 30, maybe more reasons as to why you should or shouldn't do it.
Mhm.
When the intuition speaking to you, it will tell you what to do, but it will never, ever, ever give you a reason as to why you should or you shouldn't.